Yeah. You know what it is. It's your man, Big Brandon Carter, and this is the Victory Talk Podcast. We in this bitch. I ain't mean to curse, man. I'm not supposed to curse in the beginning of the YouTube videos. We found that out. That it messes with the algorithm. Haters, the Matrix is always trying to hold us back, man. But not for long. Not now. Let's start the show. Yeah. And both those songs just get me excited, get me hype. You know what it is. Another episode of that Victory Talk Podcast. I am your host, the most humble motherfucker of all time. All right. King of modesty. Big Brandon Carter, BBC, King Keto, the king of ketosis, Gymnasium Jesus. They call me in the streets, mi gente de la Washington Heights. Dime Gymnasium Jesus de Gimnasio Ejercicio El Jefe de Ejercicio Para Mundo. You know what it is, man. I speak a little Spanish, man. I do a lot of things very well. And this is the episode of the Victory Talk, you know what I'm saying? And I'm joined by the producer of the show, the producer, best producer in the world, the homie Nima. What up, man?
All good. It's good to be back another Tuesday.
Another Tuesday, man. Another Tuesday, man. Nima's doing this thing, man. Listen. You know, he's the producer of the show. And if it don't start on time, I mean, listen, you gotta blame the producer. Hey, man, the buck stops there. And and managing the comments, kicking out all the haters, reading the Superchats is you know what it is. That's Minovia, you know what I'm saying? She out here reading your comments, man, letting you kicking out the haters. Anybody talking shit, man, they gonna get banished, exiled for life. She's excited to do that. She got an itchy trigger finger. You know what I'm saying? She ready to kick you motherfuckers way the fuck out. All right. And this is episode 113 of that Victory Talk Podcast. 113. 13 is my favorite number. When I played in high school, when I played like basketball, I would always get number 13 because, Wilt Chamberlain, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to Wilt Chamberlain. He was number 13, but also because it was, 13 supposed to be the unlucky number. And I figured, I'm unlucky for the opponents because I'm going to foul out of this game and they're going to be hard fouls. Niggas is getting injured. On the other team, I led the league in fouls, technical fouls, and flagrant fouls every year. Shout out to me. All right. We got some sponsors for this episode before we get into it. Yeah, right. We got two sponsors. So the first sponsor is the newsletter, Big Money Methods. You know what I'm saying? You want to go ahead and subscribe to this shit. Hit that link in the description. Put your email in here. And what's going to happen is, twice a week, you're going to get articles. You're going to get sent email articles that will have methods for you to make, guess what? Big money. Yeah, it's in there, man. It's written by me, the homie Seam, and the homie Chris. Chris is also one of my sales. He's on my sales team. He's the man. He's actually beating the shit out of everybody in closing rates this month, man. He's whipping they motherfucking asses. Shout out to Chris. You know what it is. All right. So, you definitely want to subscribe to that immediately. Do it now. Just do it now. Stop what you're doing. Do it now, man. What the fuck else you got to do?
It's
man?
right there.
You watching YouTube. All right. Do that, man. Do something better for your life. All right. Now, we got another sponsor, Nima. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. We got another sponsor, and that is Thot Repellent. Thot Repellent, the easy to apply spray that'll keep the hose away. Now, the reason we had to invent this is because, you know, a lot of my friends is ballers, and the biggest problem you have when you balling is like, oh no, how do I get girls? That's the kind of shit you worried about, man. We were like, damn, how do we get rid of all these fucking girls? Like, no mas chicas, por favor. I be hiding in the penthouse like Rapunzel to make sure these hoes can't sabotage my life, man. And I got a guard girlfriend who's like, she's trained to guard the premises. You know what I'm saying? Some bitch come around, whoa, she gonna, it's crazy. You know how Latinas are, you know. Mi gente mucho peligroso. And anyway, but what is everyone else gonna do? They don't have guard girlfriends. So that's why we had to invent Thot Repellent. All right. So it's genetically engineered to only affect the DNA of thots, hoes, sluts, slut hoes, hoe sluts, Jezebel skanks, skeezers, nasty bitches, hoes with red hair, any bitch who's got a baby daddy tattooed on her body, the name, right? It'll keep them away from you. You know what I'm saying? It keep them away from you. And the good women, they won't be affected by it. They won't be affected by this at all. You feel me? Like they're going to be, it's almost like thought detection as well. Right. So anyway, we figured that more people are going to need this. Right. Because just in Miami alone, there's 35,000 millionaires. Did you know that, Nima? Yeah.
No, I did not.
Yeah.
Wow.
Most of them, unsurprisingly, are men. So we got a lot in, but you're going to need it too once you've been watching so many Victory Talk episodes, and when you subscribe to when you join the free Discord we have, the Victory Unit Discord, right? Because in the Discord, I got free courses, right? I'm in there giving free advice every fucking day. You know what I'm saying? And it won't be long before like you're building up your money, your muscle, and your mindset, right? Imagine you getting ripped, right? You in amazing shape, right? You strong and confident. You built your mindset up, and you balling on these hoes, man. You every bitch's dream, right? Your dream girl is finger banging herself to a nigga like that today. So imagine what happens when she sees you, right? She's going to go crazy. And some of these hoes are going to be thots, right? And some of these bitches got nefarious intentions, right? They'll ruin your life with their bullshit. Matter of fact, there's a song about it. There's a song about it. The Thot Repellent anthem. We don't know which one is the anthem. We got two, right? But we got a Thot Repellent anthem. This is what happens when the thoughts are around. Here we go. No, I'm just gonna play. Which one? I'll play the new one. The new one? All right, the new one.
If you want a good woman one day, you gotta keep the thoughts away.
Yeah.
These bitches is crazy.
These bitches is crazy. Yeah.
These souls is always lying.
Always
they do dumb shit and start crying. These bitches is crazy.
You know,
these bitches is crazy.
No lies have been told so far.
Thot Repellent keeps away the stank hoes.
It does.
Thot Repellent keeps away the sluts. Thot Repellent keeps away the hood rats. Thot Repellent helps you find love. You need Thot Repellent. You need Thot Repellent to keep away the thoughts. You need Thot Repellent.
All your superchats go toward development of Thot Repellent.
Keep away the thoughts. Keep away the
Gotta keep away the thoughts.
Keep away the thoughts.
This is really coming out. This is not a joke. This is not a joke. It's not a joke. This is really coming. This is just a prototype, right? But this is going to be what's the release date? What are we looking at? Tentative release?
I would say the next 60 to 90 days.
60 to 90 days. Yeah, this is coming out, and it helps keep the thoughts away. Now, the thoughts they're gonna smell it, and they might go into convulsions, maybe pass out, right? But regular women, they'll just think, "Oh, you smell wonderful. What's that aroma? What's that scent? That fragrance?" You know, and you'll be like, "Oh." It's nothing, right? And then you wink at your boys, stop repelling. You know, that's how you know you got a good girl. Now, some of you motherfuckers gonna spray this shit around your girlfriends. You're gonna spray shit, you're gonna wear it around your girlfriends, and then she's gonna start foaming at the mouth and shit. And then you're like, oh fuck, she's a thought. And then you're gonna have to, and then you'll dump her and you'll thank me, right? Because she's probably cheating on you, man, doing all types of other shit, you know. I don't know if that's the song though. We got a different version because we're still trying to get this going. This is where your super chat money is going through. Studio time. We got another one. Well, should I play the other one?
The second one?
Okay, yeah, here we go. This
that's my favorite.
This might be the thought repellent anthem. Let's go.
Bitches be tripping.
Yeah, soulful.
Hoes never act right. Gotta stop the thoughts fucking up your life.
You got to.
There are some good women.
Some.
But some of them are not.
You ain't gotta tell me, man.
That's why you need repellent.
Yeah.
To keep away the thoughts. You need that repellent. Keep away the thoughts. To keep away the thoughts. To keep away the thoughts. You need that repellent.
My man is singing this hard.
To keep away the thoughts.
Yeah.
To keep away the thoughts. To keep away the thoughts. To keep away the thoughts.
You gotta keep away the thoughts.
They take you off your grind.
Take you off your grind.
Spend all of your cash.
Spend all your cash.
Take up all your time.
Take all your time.
All you get is ass. Just a spray will keep thoughts away. Spray it on your face. Spray it on your crotch. Cause you need that repellent. To keep away the thoughts. You need that repellent. Keep away the thoughts. To keep away the thoughts. To keep away the thoughts.
I feel this one in my soul.
You need that repellent. To keep away the thoughts. To keep away the hoes that got OnlyFans.
Right.
Keep away the hoes with 8 baby dads. Bitches with purple hair, no money in the bank. Bitches who try to fuck even though that pussy stank. You need that. Keep away the thoughts. To keep away the thoughts.
Over here.
To keep away the thoughts. You need that repellent. To keep away the thoughts. To keep away the hoes that got OnlyFans. Keep away the hoes.
Yeah.
With 8 baby dads. You need that repellent.
Guys, you need.
That's really hard.
That's a really good song. It's a good song with a good message supporting a good product. All right. So all your super chats are going to go towards development of thought repellent. We're past the research phase. We're going to bring this to market. All right. We're going to bring this to market. What do you say? 30 days, 90 days, 60 days, 120 days,
60 to 90 days.
60 to 90 days. This is really happening. All right. You know, this is really happening.
I'm going to probably put it on pre-order
Yeah, gonna be some pre-orders because it's gonna sell out. It's gonna sell out. You hear the marketing, you know what I'm saying? Like, motherfuckers gonna buy it off the song and don't. Please publish to Spotify. Listen, man. Maybe. Maybe. That's a good song, man. That's a good song. All right. Listen, I got a lot I want to talk about today. There's some habits. Some of y'all don't need this shit, right? Because you got some bad habits. Yeah. Some habits that are holding you back from success. And I want to rid you of those. And that's what we're going to talk about. Does it smell like a job? It smells like responsibility, accountability, and self-respect. That's why the thoughts don't like it. It smells like self-respect. It smells like honor. There's some habits holding you back. We got a segment that's going to help you with that. Yeah, it's a new segment called Habits of a Winner. I'm good at too many things. You know, I made all the music you hear, you know, all of it. I'm good. That's good at too many things. That's a big problem of mine. Like, how do you stay focused when you are amazing at everything? Anyway, listen, there are some habits that are holding you back and sabotaging your success. And in this video, I'm going to break down the top 10 habits that are stopping you from being successful. And I'm going to show you how to get rid of them so you can succeed and start marching down and start marching up the mountaintop of victory. All right. And if you fuck this up, no, if you mess this up, I promise you, man, you'll live a lifetime of regret. You'll look back and think, damn, if only I would have listened to Gymnasium Jesus's video when he told me how to get rid of these habits. Instead, they're ruining my life. I got this fat, ugly wife that I can't divorce because she's going to take half of my shit. I'm going to have to give half my shit to this fat bitch who gave me these ugly kids. I don't want that to happen to you. I want you to succeed. I want you to be balling, shot calling, flexing on haters and studying on the hoes. And the reason, and you may be thinking, hey, why should I listen to this guy about stunting on haters and flexing on hoes? Well, because if you've been paying attention over the last 10 years, I've been on YouTube and you've seen my rise from just a guy doing workout videos in the park or in a small apartment in Queens to now, you know, millions of fans. I built several multi 8-figure businesses, you know, over that. And I've grown. Not only have I grown my following, but I've also built several multi 8-figure businesses over that span of time. It's all been documented. I know something about success. Not only that, I've helped thousands of people build successful businesses. And here are the top 10 things that are holding you back. That if you stop, here are the top 10 habits that are holding you back. And if you can overcome these things, you can start balling, shot calling, flexing on haters, stunting on the hoes. All right, let's get into it. All right. So the first thing that's holding you back from being successful is trying to be balanced. Right. I hear all these people talk about how you need to be balanced. Oh man, just want you, it balances everything in moderation. That's bullshit. I want to tell you a story. So the gear was around, I want to say it was 2017. Right. And I'm on a phone call with a guy named Alex Hormozi. And no, the year was 2018. And I'm on a phone call with a guy named Alex Hormozi. You may have heard of him. He's pretty big on social media now, but at the time he was not. All right. And I'm on the phone with him and he asked me, and mind you, this was New Year's Eve. It was New Year's Eve or New Year's Day around that time. And I'm on the phone with him, right? and we were working on a project that we were going to do together. I was helping him with, I was going to help promote his supplement line that he was starting at the time. It was called Prestige Labs. And he asked me, how much money did you make last year? And I was like, oh man, we did pretty good. I did about $2.5 million. Right. Now, remember, I'm a kid from the South Side of Chicago, the black ghetto. My father killed himself, shot himself in the head when I was younger. I started from nothing. And so $2.5 million, I'm thinking, hey, I'm doing pretty good for myself, man. I'm feeling myself. Like, yeah, man. Yeah, Hormozi, I made about $2.5 million, kind of feeling myself. And Hormozi said, oh, man, that's cool. That's cool, man. Good job, man. So we did about $30 million last year. And I was like, that's what he said. But what I heard was, oh, that's cute, motherfucker. That's cute, you little bitch. I did $30 million, man. I wiped my ass with your motherfucking accomplishments. He didn't say that, but that's what I heard. That's what I felt. And I knew something about Hormozi, right? Because the guy who was running his ads at the time was one of my mentors, a dude named Kevin Hodo. And Kevin once told me, listen, man, all Hormozi really does is work. Right? This motherfucker goes to sleep at 9:30, wakes up at 4 a.m. and then he wakes up at 4 a.m. immediately starts working, and he doesn't really stop until it's time to eat dinner. Then he goes to sleep right after dinner, like that. And he does that 7 days a week, every day. Right? He had told me that, and I was like, man, he doesn't seem like he has a lot of time for recreation, right? Meanwhile, I'm out here trying to be an international playboy and shit. I'm doing all types of wild shit. I'm working harder than most people, but I'm still out here trying to enjoy life and all that other shit, right? And I saw that, oh shit, when you're unbalanced, you can get way more success. Way more success. Because here's the thing. Hormozi was totally unbalanced. He was totally unbalanced, and that's why he was more successful than me. One of the reasons. He's also like super smart. This motherfucker went to Vanderbilt, Ivy League college and shit. Like, he's also super smart. I don't want to take nothing away from him, but he works super hard. And I, at that moment, I thought, oh shit, I got to really step my game up. And I realized that most motherfuckers weren't even working as hard as me. Right? Because most people, they want to be balanced. So this is what they think. This is what they think. They think, okay, perfect balance would look like this: 8 hours of sleep. Oh, I can make that better. Right? 8 hours a day of work, right? 9 to 5 work. And then 8 hours of recreation. Right? Just enjoy life, man. Oh. I can make that. Hold on. Let me do that again. That shit looked crazy. Right. And this is like pretty balanced, right? You sleep 8 hours, boom, you work 8 hours, and then you have fun the other 8 hours. That's a balanced day, right? That's 24 hours, right? Yeah, that's a balanced day, right? But here's the problem with that. If you're balanced, then that means everything is equal. But if everything's equal, then that assumes that everything is equal importance, but it's not, right? Recreation is not as important as work, right? And maybe it is to you. I don't know. It depends on what your goals are, right? But this is what the average person does less than this, right? Because they don't work 8 hours every day, right? So they work, the average American works 35 hours a week. I looked that up. It's on the Bureau of Labor and Statistics, right there, about 35 hours a week, right? The average person works The average American works 35 hours per week, right? That's not even this. That's not even this, because this is only 7 days a week, right? So they're working less than this, and they wonder why they're struggling. You know what I'm saying? They wonder why they're struggling. If you want extreme success, no, I'm sorry. But yeah, if you want extreme results, it's got to come from extreme actions. You get what I'm saying? So if you're doing this average shit, this average American shit, right? Well then, right? Because the average American, what they do is worse than this. It's actually worse than this. This would be fucking better if they did this. What they really doing is they do 8 hours of sleep a night is 56 hours sleep, right? I'll say 40 hours of work. What they left with? 100 and no. Do the math real quick. He's minus 168. I should have did this before. Yeah, I thought it was 112. 112 would have played as well, right? So they have 112 hours for, other shit. Could be recreation. No, that's not right. No, bro. That's not right. Yeah, 72. Yeah. They have 72 hours of other shit. Right? That's not even balanced, but this is what the average American does. Right? If work is, they wonder why they're struggling, because work is like the lowest number, right? They're doing less work than everything else, right? But if you want extreme success, it's got to come from extreme actions. You get what I'm saying? So what I recommend is you be unbalanced, because success comes from extreme success is going to come from doing extreme things, right? So there's 4 quadrants of life. There is your health, your money, right? There's romantic relationships, sex partners, right? And then you have friends and family. Now, here's the thing. I'm not telling you to sacrifice any of the other ones, right? But if you want extreme financial success, then we need to focus. We need to focus on this one, right? We need to focus on this one, right? And just make sure that the other ones are at least staying afloat, or maybe you're not making, you're staying alive, you're staying healthy, right? You're not getting divorced if you're married or whatever, or maybe, you don't need that to live, right? And then, maybe you don't spend as much time with your friends and family as everyone else, but you're spending enough time where you're still a good father, or you're still a good son, or whatever, but it's not the focus, right? You can only have one focus, like literally you can only have one focus, and you focus on the money. And what that looks like, if you see, and what now this is how you start to succeed, right? And listen, you can change this around. Like if you're fucking dying, then maybe you focus on this, right? You leave the other shit alone, right? If you're, I don't know, if something's going on with your relationship, maybe you need to focus on that right now, right? Maybe, whatever. If something's going on with your family, then you need to focus on them, right? But if you're fucking broke, then you got to focus on the money. Or if you just want to succeed, if you want extreme success, right? Hormozi did $30 million that year. That's extreme success, right? I did $2.5 million that year. That's still extreme success compared to the average, right? Because the average American has less than $1,000 in their savings account. That's a real stat. You can go look that up. The average American is fucking 17 pounds overweight, right? The average American, the average marriage, ends in divorce. Like, well, maybe not the average. 50% of marriages end in divorce, but that's not the counting the people who just stay, right? Right. So motherfuckers ain't even succeeding. Like the balance shit ain't even working for the average American. Like this shit ain't even working. But here's the thing. If you get your money right, then what? You can afford the best healthcare. Magic Johnson would have been dead if he had not been a multimillionaire when everybody else was getting it. He'd be dead like everyone. If he was not a multimillionaire, he would have died of HIV like everyone else who was getting that shit in the 90s, But now he's still out here doing shit. You know what I'm saying? I seen him on TV the other day, right? And fucking poor people actually get divorced more. There's stats that show that, right? So it stands to reason. You stay like statistically, you hear about famous rich people getting divorced. For sure, it happens, but you only hear about it because it's news, right? When the fucking bus driver gets divorced, no one gives a fuck, right? That's not going to be on the fucking World Star Hip Hop or some shit, It's but statistically, people get divorced. The poorest people get divorced the most, right? And also, listen, women file from most divorces are filed by women. And the number one thing they cite, the number one thing that's cited for divorce is money issues. So it stands to reason. Get some motherfucking money if you love that bitch, right? And then she gonna leave you. And friends and family, listen, man, studies show that kids of wealthy families, they do better in all. What's the study? Wealthy children have greater outcomes in almost all areas of life. Studies show that. So you care about your kids, you care about your parents, your family. You got to get some money, right? Especially if you say you want the best for your kids, right? Right? You want the best of your kids. You really mean that, because the best costs money. You don't give your kids the best now. You give them the best you can afford, right? The shit you do for your parents, it's not the best. It's the best you can afford. You get what I'm saying? So if you really want the best for your family, then you got to get money, because the best costs money. The best is expensive. You know what I'm saying? So it stands to reason, if you give a fuck about anything I'm saying, man, if you're serious about success, then we need to be unbalanced, right? So what I recommend is do what I did. When I was struggling after my father blew his brains out and I had to start making money to take care of the whole family, I started working 12 to 14 hours a day, 7 days a week, right? I think you should work 80 hours a week. Boom. 80 hours a week. Right? We don't want to fuck up our health. So we're still going to sleep 8 hours a night, 56 hours. Boom. And that leaves us with like, what, 30 something? What is it? That leaves us with 32 hours to still do other shit. Right? Boom. Now, other shit, everyone else gets the other shit. The other quadrants get the other shit, because you're taking it to that level. And you might be thinking you can't do that. You should shut the fuck up. I'm gonna show you how you can, though. Right? So if I have a video on where I broke this down. Fuck. Oh, okay, it's here. Where I broke down what this looked like, and I created a weekly calendar that looks like this. Yeah, you can show it right now, right? So boom, what it looks like, you put your sleep in the calendar, right? And then you have your get money sessions. You got to plan your day. We're going to talk about that more later in this video, but you got to plan. You got to plan your life out, right? Boom. So here's get money sessions. Then you wake up, here's the sleep, boom, 10 to 6, 8 hours, right? You wake up, maybe some sort of get money sessions or something that has to do with your goals. Boom, commute to work. Then you work to 5. Then we have the workouts. We have the family time. We have the date night with your girl. We had to sleep. And we got the family time in here, right? The green is the other shit, right? The green is the other shit, right? Let's say you got a 9-to-5 job. That's the red shit, and the commute to the red shit. And then you still got time, right? You still got time. We're going to talk more about planning later in this video, right? It's very important. But the key is maybe you don't have to work 80 hours, right? It depends on how extreme your goals are and how serious you are about them. But don't say you can't do it, because you can. You don't have to neglect your family if you plan it in the calendar, right? Like, I got tons of family time in here on the calendar. You can put more in here. You can work less. Maybe you don't have to do 80 hours a week, but 80 hours a week is probably like the max a motherfucker can work per week without like fucking up the other quadrants. So let's max this shit out, man. Let's max this shit out. The next habit that's fucking up your life. Hold up. Next habit fucking up your life is lack of discipline, right? Lack of discipline. You know, discipline means doing what you're supposed to do when you're supposed to do it, whether you feel like it or not, right? And, you know, I remember, so I'm going to tell you a story about how lack of discipline can really fuck you up. I grew up poor, south side of Chicago. His reputation precedes itself. You know what? Hold that thought. I'm going to go right into this, but my man Romulus is here. I'm going to come right back to lack of discipline in a minute, but we got the homie Romulus just showed up. We got to do the market recap. Let's go. Yo, Romulus, what's up, man?
Hey now, Mr. Brown. I feel like I was busting in on something tonight.
Yeah, it's all good, man. You know, listen, I was just gonna keep going until I saw you, man. And then I saw Romulus. It's all good, man. They can wait, man. It's like a cliffhanger. What's about to happen?
Yeah, stick around, everybody.
Yeah,
There's more.
yeah.
There is more, but right now we have more.
We got. Hey, man, listen. I want to talk about these markets, man. Let me know what's up.
Exactly right. So welcome, everybody. This is General Romulus. We are coming to you live at the top of the hour for the Victory Unit podcast. And before I get too far into the market recap and discussion, let me remind everybody tomorrow at 4:15 Eastern time.
Yeah.
As we do on Wednesdays, Legatus Greg and I are going to be hosting a live Traders Town Hall in the Victory Unit Discord, which is a place you can join for free.
Yeah.
So come on
100%.
in there. Last few weeks, we've had some awesome conversations. We want you to be part of that. Tomorrow, 4:15 Eastern time, live in the Discord, the Traders Town Hall. You will not want to miss that. Okay. So as usual here, it takes me a second or two to get the screen kind of shared up here. We're going to try to do that. Give it a second, and here it comes. And we'll be pulling it up. And let me know, Brandon. Do you see that?
Oh man, you good. You good.
That means everybody else can see it as well. Okay,
that's a fact.
We hit the nail on the head again. And I don't know about you and you, Brandon, in addition to all of the folks listening and watching this right now, but we've had a sense that the last couple of weeks we are already in summer trading hours. It's kind of unusual because it's still May. I mean, we haven't even hit June yet. And it feels like we're in the middle of summer trading hours where you get just these lulls and slowdowns and quiet periods, people on vacation. It's starting early. And by the way, for those perennial bulls, the perma bulls out there, this is not what you want to see because it just takes a little bit of a whiff of negativity. Like you see that big red candle, right? Let me blow that up for everybody. Yeah. That big red candle right there, that was just a few trading. That's the kind of thing that can happen when you get these real quiet, low. I tell you something else too. Here's something, man. I was doing some futures trading this morning. Yeah. Which I love to do and had a lot of fun doing that. And had a couple of nice winners. But there was a trade that I tried. That was the key word, tried to get into this morning. Yeah. And went on to win. And as sometimes these things go really fast, just as an example. The fastest trade that I was ever into and also out of, in other words, buy, sell, like in and out in the NASDAQ futures market was 0.2 of 1 second. Fast. So fast that this morning I did a couple trades. Like I said, they win. And this one I did, it didn't even execute. It skipped it. skipped it. That doesn't happen when you have liquid markets where there's a lot of trading activity. That's something that happens during these summer lulls. But like I said, it's only May. Whoa, it's only May. So this is something you permabulls out there should be fully aware of and keep your eyes permanently open to, because the next couple of months, they may not go the way you hope and think that they will go based on what we're seeing already. Volume declining dramatically, interest leaving the building. That's not what you want to see. Okay. So S&P 500 still stalled out here for a bit. But you know what else? Look at this, though. This is the big Dow Jones, the oldest index in the entire world. Charles Dow started the Dow Jones indexes in the 1890s. There was no stock market indexes before he did that. Stocks were just all over the place. They were not grouped by representation or similarity or any kind of organization. They were just scattered everywhere. He put them into these buckets in the 1890s again, and now we have him to thank for that. But go ahead and take a look at this down here. Today, again, another, not quite the severity of what happened a few trading days ago, but still a surprise to the bulls. Dow pulls back, and look what's going on here at today's low. You go back here, the stock's pretty much trading the same place they were in January.
Yeah.
That's what? What are you talking about? How can that be, Ron? We're all the market's up. Well, it's not actually. It's actually not up. There's only one thing that's really up. That's it.
Oh, and that's why the NASDAQ hit an all-time closing high today, right?
Yeah. That's why the S&P kind of kept it together compared to the Dow.
Yeah.
Because of NVIDIA. Now, back in the 70s, we're going back in the chariot time machine, everybody. This is an awesome time to be here. 1971, 72, 73, before 74, because, you know, that's what happens. They go in chronological order. There was something called the Nifty 50. This is when the top fund managers, pension fund managers, analysts, and the big traders out there all piled into the 50 biggest stocks of the time. So this would be companies like IBM, Coca-Cola, Xerox, those types of firms. Okay. There was no Microsoft at the time, no Apple, no Google, none of that was going on. But the 50 biggest companies out there. And the theory, Brandon, was that you didn't, and by the way, this is an interesting fact. There were more companies back in 1973 that were publicly traded in the United States on the big exchanges than there are currently today. 50 years later, there were more companies then than there are today.
Okay.
All right. But everybody figured, why own all those other stocks? We just need to buy these big 50 companies. They called it the Nifty 50. They all piled into the same 50 stocks. And those thousands and thousands of other stocks that were out there mostly got ignored. And because of that, those stocks went down, and the Nifty 50, because everybody kept piling into them, kept going higher for no other reason than they were just getting bought up. The demand, not for their products or for their earnings, but for their stock prices, for their stocks rather, is what drove the stock prices higher. But it was only 50 companies to the detriment of thousands of other firms. Why am I talking about this? Because we're down to the Nifty 1 right now. NVIDIA. That's it. That's what we're down to right here. One stock. That's what, no one's buying anything else. They're buying one stock. This is flat out idiotic. This is asinine and moronic. Now, I don't believe that the end result of this blind, sheep-like, non-thinking behavior is going to lead to 1974, which is what came out of the Nifty 50, which was a ripping bear market, just gut-wrenching bear market, like rip your face off, leave it in your hands kind of a bear market, like third worst in U.S. history kind of bear market. I don't think it ends in that kind of result.
Okay.
Why? Same reason we've been discussing for a while, Brandon, because it's an election year. It's an election year.
It is.
Politicians from both sides have no interest in seeing the stock market tank of that nature. And they have, both of them have tools at their disposal, if need be, to kind of forestall and delay something like that. Not permanently kick it down the road, but forestall and delay it until October, November, until election time comes near us. But this kind of behavior, when everyone's piling into one stock, I mean, I've never seen anything like this.
It's a precarious situation.
It is a precarious situation, and it's just idiotic.
Yeah.
It's flat out. I mean, these fund managers that are chasing this and not buying other things, I don't get it. I don't get it. Okay. And the thing is, if the S&P really decides to get hurt because of this, trust me when I tell you this, NVIDIA is going to go down too. It's not going to save you. The Nifty 50 didn't get saved. As a matter of fact, it got totally eviscerated. In 1974, those Nifty 50 stocks got completely hammered. Completely hammered. But that's how Warren Buffett made his mark. Because at the 74 low, he went big into Coca-Cola. And that's it. He's a multi-billionaire because of that. It was all because of the moves that he made in 74. That made Buffett what he is today, that 1 year.
Got it.
Yep.
So what I'm hearing is we need to be cautious right now.
Heck yes.
Yeah, that's what I'm hearing.
Yeah,
cautious with the trading. All right. So that's what's going on there. I know we went kind of deep into the history. Nah, it's cool, man.
Bit, but I like that. Another issue here that is not getting a lot of conversation is oil prices spiking again and interest rates spiking again. These are sensitive. They're not to a point yet where, Danger Will Robinson kind of discussions need to be brought out of the closet. But if this does catch a little bit of fire, come up in here, there's no interest rates coming anytime soon. There's no deflationary discussions anymore for a while. It's all about oil. These people are not paying attention to this as usual. So it's too late. So we have some things we want to be paying attention to. All right. The Fed, that's the big thing, right?
Yeah.
That's the downside of being involved in the 2024 global markets and economy is that there's so much debt. I mean, the U.S. economy, $35 trillion in debt, $175 trillion in money owed to Medicare and Social Security over the next just 25 years, which is just money numbers you can't get your head around. Western Europe and Japan and China, so much debt, individuals and companies, so much debt that the Fed has an outsized ability right now to move these markets because of all of that leverage and all of that debt. Shame. We shouldn't be like this. We should be to a point where we don't care what the Fed does or says. But because there's so much debt, we need to care and pay attention to what they do. So Friday, there was something called the Personal Consumption Expenditure Report or something like PCE. I forget what it's fully what it fully stands for. Governments can't operate without acronyms. They would fall on their face, I suppose. But the PCE comes out Friday morning. That's what they call is the Fed's favorite indicator. It's not it's not GDP. It's not CPI. They say that it's this PCE thing coming on Friday. In addition, there's a Fed meeting in 2 weeks from tomorrow. That'll be the last one for the first half of the year. That'll wrap up their first half. They're not going to be cutting interest rates, but they want to hear what they have to say. In addition, the dot plot gets released. The dot plot was not released. If you don't know what I'm talking about, this is one of the reasons why you should come to tomorrow's free Traders Town Hall, 4:15 p.m. on the Victory Unit Discord. Check it out. Okay, so back up again. The dot plot gets released. The Fed meeting comes out in 2 weeks. They're going to be looking for evidence about when the Fed is going to be cutting interest rates. The reason I'm leaving the oil chart up here right now is because if oil stays at this level or goes higher, it does not have to go lower. It simply has to stay here. It has to stay at this price. And there will be no discussions about interest rate cuts. Okay? Because look at this. Here's wheat. That doesn't look cheap. That looks like my bread's going to cost me more in the store in a couple of weeks.
Those are wheat futures.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. My bread's going to cost more in a couple of weeks. My gas is going to go up. I just looked at oil. Okay. Here's corn. My corn prices are slowly increasing.
Dios mío.
Here's rice. Dios mío. Mi maíz es más.
Sí. Mucho peligroso.
Your rice prices. And you can see how much higher they are over the last 6 and 12 months.
Yeah.
So all this talk about, like I remember last November, December, like 6 months ago, all the professionals, all the experts promised us, guaranteed us, assured us that the Fed was going to cut interest rates 6 times, maybe even 7 in 2024. Now the discussion is, Well, should we be lucky to get even one cut? And prices of everything I just showed you stay at these levels without even going higher. They don't even have to go any higher than they currently are. They don't even have to go any higher. And there will be no interest rate cuts for a very long time.
All right.
Federal Reserve Governor Kashkari from Minnesota even said earlier today that he's considering an increase.
Really? Now that would really hurt the markets.
Yeah, well, you know what?
They're not going to do it. They're probably not going to.
Of a dumbass out there. GameStop. And by the way, if you bought this GameStop anywhere up in here, or if you put any kind of real money into it with anything more than a gamble, then you're a dumbass.
Yeah, yeah.
You just are a dumbass because the GameStop Corporation sold, I don't know, a billion, whatever it was, just a bunch of stock out there
came up
to the public, and the stock goes up on the announcement. Here's something I cannot comprehend, Brandon. I just can't understand this. So the stock goes up because why? The management just diluted your ownership even more. Okay. They just pinned all over your ownership. They just diluted it even more. And then what did you do as the shareholder or the trader, the investor in this dumb thing? You gave a bunch of morons even more money to do stupid shit. GameStop has been a non-functioning company. It has been a dumpster fire for years. They've proven again and again they don't know what they're doing. And so the investors in this company move the stock up to celebrate the fact that these morons are getting even more money to do dumb shit. I cannot. Hello. You remember the scene?
Hey man, I ain't buy none.
No, you wouldn't. You remember the scene from Fast Times when he's banging the shoe against his head? You know, Spicoli, because he's so freaking stoned. Out here. Right? If you bought GameStop with anything more than a gambler's amount of money, you know, and again, if you gamble on it, whatever, you know, we're all gamblers. We do different things in gambling. But if you put any more than a gambler's amount of money in this thing, and or you believe that this company is viable and is going to go out and do, please message me directly. Please contact me directly.
Yeah, he's in the contact him in the victory unit. He's right.
Yeah, come and get me. Okay. Yeah. All you Redditors, all you fools, come and get me. Okay, come on. I got a couple bridges I want to sell you.
Yo, I got some other stocks I want to ask you about.
Let's do it.
All right. So first of all, the homie, we got a super chat to ask you a question. It was about the homie King Carbs. He asked you to take a look at Lululemon.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Let's take a look.
It's a bad looking shark. Yeah, it's a bad. Yeah.
What happened?
I don't know what the fuck happened to Lululemon.
Wow, this thing is at a multi-year low.
Yeah. It's looking bad.
Wow. It's about to break down even go. It looks like it could be going even lower.
Yeah, that's looking really bad.
Is no one buying their stuff anymore?
Listen, I got it on every day. I guess I'm not shooting up. It's not enough. I ain't got enough of these black joggers to raise the stock price, man.
Yeah, because if we want to put this thing higher, we got to start buying it like we buy Celsius.
Yeah. Listen, man, Celsius is next, man. So you think we staying away from this? We shorten it or what?
No, I'd stay away altogether. I mean, the low hanging fruit on the short side is already come and gone. I'd say that a rebound after earnings is obviously potentially possible because the expectations are so low right now. Yeah. But coming up after, if it does rally, that is, if it rallies into the 50-day average or a little above, in this range, into the 380s or so, that could be a good short. That looks, I had no idea they were doing this poorly. Yeah.
Yo, he said young candlestick. If you see on the screen, that's because that's the nickname we gave Greg, young candlestick. That's just like his rap trader name. If he was a rapper, that'd be his name.
Nice.
That's what he said. Yeah. The victory unit.
Want to see about Salesforce. Salesforce has got real potential for a rebound. This is this pattern right here. Like it's potentially breaking down right from this right here. You see that? Wait, let me hit the button. Okay. Anyway, you get the idea. It's a little crooked, but you get the idea. So this is potentially breaking down. But earnings are tomorrow. Yeah, earnings are tomorrow. Yes, tomorrow. I keep track of the week because of the holiday yesterday. So earnings are tomorrow. This could go either way. If it got hit, that could be a potential buy.
So because it's going so low.
Yeah, I'm not going to play the earnings. Like I don't play earnings specifically. Play earnings.
Nah, I don't trade over earnings.
I'm not a gambler. But if this thing did get hit tomorrow after the earnings, let's see what time they're coming out, if the morning or the afternoon. Tomorrow night. So it would be a Thursday morning kind of a play, and I would have to just see how it played out. If it got hit and went down after the earnings, I might be tempted to buy some of that.
All right, little fade trade kind of.
There you go, fade trade.
You know what I'm saying? I know.
You know what? Lululemon could be that too. That could be that too. I mean, the earnings are coming out down the road a bit. Let's check. So that's Wednesday, next Wednesday, a week from tomorrow. If this thing just keeps falling into those earnings and then it gets hit again on the day, I'm tempted to buy that as a fade trade as well.
Fade trade. All right, cool.
Yeah, so we have a couple ideas. Good.
There was another super chat. The homie he recommended hymns like last year, and I was like, all right, I'll look into it, you know. And he said it tripled. I ain't checked it out, but he tried to alert us, man. Hymns.
So hymns is up. Now, one thing about this company is just a marketing company. Okay, that's all they are. They're just a marketing company. They just connect people with doctors. They don't prescribe. They connect, but then the doctors are giving out easy prescriptions, I'm sure.
Oh yeah. I get my Adderall from a company like that.
Wait, hold on.
They'll give anyone anything.
I lost track of what you were saying. What'd you say?
Oh, I get my Adderall from a company like that.
Hold on. What'd you say? Anyway, so that's what this company is, and they like to get themselves involved. The CEO likes to get himself involved in controversy. So I stay away from this for that reason. I don't like this. But
CEO, he be out here talking crazy.
Yeah, he does. He talks crazy. You know, he's got ideas.
Yeah, it's definitely way up.
He was focused on product, and that's it. You know, there's plenty of other people that are talking politics and all of that stuff. So
yeah, he's definitely way up. All right, listen, Celsius. Right?
There we go. Oh, it got hit today.
The fuck happened?
Yeah, I know, right? So one of the things we've said for months and months, and I will not change this conversation. Whenever it gets close to the 200-day moving average, it seems to be a good place to buy. Yeah. And now today's hit with that huge volume, that might be foreshadowing a trip down near this area.
That's going to be another buying opportunity is what I'm hearing.
I mean, why did it get hit so much today? There's got to be a reason, maybe some bad news that we didn't know about. I don't follow it that closely.
Man, I'm looking so an analyst raised this price target and then it went down. I guess they didn't raise it enough.
Maybe he raised it from 50 to 60 and it was at 90. So
yeah, it's like a weird. Yeah, I don't know.
I didn't follow that news. I don't follow news per se on a lot of these things, individual stocks especially. But again, I stick to the same idea. Gets near that 200-day, either added or a couple of bucks on either side, below or above. Yeah. I'd be a buyer on that.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. So I mean, every time it hits the 200 days, it's been bouncing, right?
Yeah. I'm not going to change on that. I'll stick with that.
So guys, if you're not in the Celsius trade, opportunity may be coming up in the near future.
Right. Keep your eyes open, and maybe in the next 2 to 3, 4 weeks, you might get a chance.
And if you are in it, or like me, I'm holding, and look where the 200-day is now from where it is when we entered. We're still up, so I'm just going to add to my position
if it goes down, right?
Yeah. All right. Well, listen, Romulus, man, thank you so much. Listen, everybody, if y'all want Romulus and the homie Young Candlestick, they doing the trader town hall.
That's that right.
In the Victory Unit Discord tomorrow at 4 p.m.
Eastern time. Come join. It's live in person. It's free for you. Join us. We have a lot to talk about. I'm looking forward to it.
Come on, Romulus. Thank you so much, brother. All right. Before I get back into the lesson, I think there was a few other super chats. Some champions have contributed to the thought repellent. This is really coming to market, man. It's all because of y'all.
We have Keem Carbs donation for thought repellent in memory of my brother Fresh.
Listen, yo, and thank you, King Carbs. Appreciate that, man. Listen, man. There's been some developments in that, right? We go on Thursday. The guest for the victory talk. We got a guest, and it's going to be Chris from Fresh and Fit, the producer, right? You know what I'm saying? So him and Nima, they can have producer talk. I don't know. It's going to be dope. We're going to learn a lot, man. The homie Chris, it's his first podcast appearance outside of Fresh and Fit. So super excited to have him, the big homie. So make sure you're there. If you want to have any questions about what it's like to work behind the scenes at a popular podcast, me and Nima are going to be asking those questions. But you might want to know too. I think we got another one. Is there another chat?
We have Geek Monster Gaming. I got a customer from Facebook ads since you told me that. Thanks so much. Trying to get the CCV down. Any tops?
Oh, any tops? Yo, listen, first of all, congratulations. Any tops? I don't know what that means, man. But it sounded gay. All right.
We also have one more.
What
How
else
do you know if you change too much or too little for your service? She seemed not to like the fact that we didn't charge her more.
I think he meant to say charge. Listen, man. Listen, yo, Greek gaming monster, man. Like, yo, we gotta decode your shit, man. Like, yo, like I'm like it's like a
Spelling
mystery.
error,
What you say? You know what I'm saying? It's like,
punctuation.
no, man. It's like, you know, just this is, you know what I do, man, because I can't spell for shit. Yeah, no, he meant to say tips. You know what I'm saying? And he meant to say charge, not T-gate. Or was that Chagate? I don't know what that. We out here decoding this shit, man. Like you the Riddler. Like we gotta figure your shit out. This shit is his questions be a fucking mystery. Like we. It's all good though, man. The fuck. Okay. Listen, just what's the question? How did you gate if you're charging too little? All right, hold on. Listen, price is an illusion, bro. You know, like price means nothing. Man. Price is just is what somebody's willing to pay, right? So you know, you want to keep charging, keep raising your prices until you start getting pushback at that level, and then you good. You know what I'm saying? But right now, it's more about where you're at right now. Listen, you just need to get clients. You need to get testimonials. You know, to keep going. All right. I think I answered. I got distracted, man. Predictive text. Oh yeah, no, I get it. Hey, I get it. It'd be like that. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to you though, man. All right. Let's get back into the lesson. We was on the habits of a winner. Just run it back. So before the homie Romulus came in with the market update, I was talking about the 10 things that are holding you back, the 10 habits that are stopping you from success. And I was just about to get into lack of discipline. So let me tell you a story about lack of discipline. You guys know I grew up poor, south side of Chicago. And, you know, my dad, he had his business at the time, but he was super struggling. Like we didn't have a car. There was fucking roaches in the crib. I remember like one of my early memories is me and this other kid who lived in this building. We would like run around trying to crush roaches and shit. It was the fucking hood, bro. Like, you know, that's how we grew up. And I got sent away to military school because I got in some trouble. You know, nothing crazy, man. Just fucking fights, skipping school, shootouts, normal Chicago shit. And I get sent away to this military school, boarding school. Then my dad's business started to take off, right? Like 16 years of fucking work finally started to pay off, and he started making money. And by the time I graduated from military school, he was making $3 million per year. Adjusted for inflation, that would have been the equivalent of $8 million in today's money. All right. And I didn't experience it because I was gone, right? I was gone at military school. Then I went straight to college after school. Now, while I was in college, he proceeded to lose discipline and he started fucking this shit up, right? He stopped doing the things that got him, he stopped doing the things that helped him acquire success, right? And he started to relax on his discipline, and he lost all the money by the time I was out of college, right? So I really missed out on all the wealth. It was like when I went to military school, we was poor. When I came from college, we was poor again. Like I missed the whole shit. And then he committed suicide, right? And it's because he stopped doing the things that helped him become successful, right? Now he had it. He's better than most people because he had enough discipline in order to become successful. He just couldn't maintain it. You motherfuckers don't even have enough to start. And there's a reason for that. I believe most of you guys, the reason you're not disciplined is there's two reasons you're not disciplined. One is because you accept being undisciplined, right? You're not consistent because you accept inconsistency, right? So when you're supposed to work out, you'll be like, oh, I ain't work out. I worked out yesterday's. I'll take today off. Oh, one day won't hurt, right? Or you follow your diet for a few days and then you say, oh man, I guess I can eat this bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Moderation, oh, I deserve this shit. And you accept being undisciplined. You accept a certain lack of discipline. Once you stop accepting it, it'll become easier to be disciplined. See, all this moderation shit makes it more difficult. And when you cheat on your diet or you cheat on your workout, you skip workouts, or you're focusing on something and then you take a break from it, right? What happens is you kind of quit for a second, right? You say it like, oh, I'll get back on it tomorrow. No, you have to start over. Like you have to start over, right? And it's going to be, and starting is the hardest part, right? Because if you've been, let's use diet as an example. If you ate some fucking cakes and candies yesterday like a fucking child, right? You're going to have cravings for that shit, right? Because those foods spike dopamine and they have a hormonal response and make them addictive, right? Now you going through a certain amount of withdrawal when you have to restart your diet. However, had you just stayed focused, it would have been easier to maintain that. You start to coast. It's kind of like a rocket ship going off in the atmosphere, right? It has those two big fuel containers, and then that's because it needs a lot of energy to get out the atmosphere. But once it gets out the atmosphere, then it can coast, right? Because starting is the hardest part. You motherfuckers get halfway out the atmosphere and start over again. You need to refuel for another launch. You're doing the hardest part over and over again. So when you cheat on your diet, when you quit your workout, when you don't focus on your business or you bullshit, whatever it is, you have to start over again. You're not taking a break. You're not giving yourself a day off or any of that shit. You're starting over again. And starting is the hardest part. Pause. And that's why it's easier to just it's actually easier to stay focused. In the diet example, it's easier to just say, hey, just do what I do. It's like, I don't eat candies and cakes. I just don't eat the shit, right? It's easier because now I don't have the option of doing it, right? And I'm not tempted. When people are eating fucking bullshit around me, Neem was eating a fucking candy bar the other day like a goddamn baby. And like a baby girl. I wasn't tempted at all. I didn't want any of that shit, right? Because I know that if I eat that shit, I fucking have to start over on my diet. You guys are too easy on yourselves. You say, oh, I deserve it. Oh, it's okay. Or you say, oh, Lee, I did it. Something's better than nothing. No. Nothing is better than doing something halfway. right? I'd rather you do nothing than fucking pussyfoot the whole time, right? Because doing nothing, because at least when you're doing nothing, you're not fucking giving yourself the impression that you're making progress, right? You're not giving yourself some false ass sense of accomplishment, right? The second reason you may have a lack of discipline is because you might not want it bad enough, right? It may not be as big of a deal to you. You get what I'm saying? It may not be as big of a deal to you. That was why it was easy for my dad to lose discipline once he became successful, because he was running away from poverty, right? He was trying to support, his wife, his kids. I got brothers and sisters and shit. And he was trying to like come up. He was running away from poverty. And then once poverty was, he felt like he had beat poverty, right? Then it's like I can relax now. Yeah, all right. Yeah, all right. You got to keep doing the things that got you successful if you want to maintain that success, right? It's just like your diet, there's no end to it. Once you get in great shape, you got to stay in great shape. If you go back to doing the shit you did, you're going to get fat again, right? So that's why I think you got to increase your desire. And the way you do that is you have to rewire your brain. So not Henry Ford, is a different white man. Sigmund Freud. He said that people are always moving to anything someone does, they're moving towards pleasure or they're moving away from pain. I know I'm a fantastic artist. Just try to stay focused. Don't let it distract you too much. Right. So they're moving towards pleasure or away from pain. Right. So right now, the reason it's difficult for you to stay disciplined is because you associate pleasure. We use diet as an example. Let's go for a month let's stay with the making money context, right? You associate pleasure with party, drugs, hoes, right? And basically vices, right? And you associate pain with hard work. That was dyslexia in action. I was about to write work before hard. Pause. All right. Hard work. I mean, that's all you really got to do to be successful. It's like kind of simple. All right. You associate pain with hard work and you associate pleasure with vices, right? So you have to, what you have to do is you have to change your associations. You have to rewire your brain, because when you change your brain, you change the game. Right. And so the only way I know how to do this, let me put that back, because that's going to be good. The only way I know how to do this is something I call the list of hate and the list of great. So the list of hate. Oh, let me write this first. Right. So the list of hate, you're going to make a list of all the people who have done you wrong, talk shit about you, tried to sabotage you, right? Hated on you, said you couldn't accomplish your goals. You're going to write a list of these motherfuckers, right? Bitches who cheated on you, left you, right? And you're going to make a list of these people, and you're going to look at that list every day, every morning. That's how I start my day. I start my day with it, man. Rage. And you got to understand that every time you don't work hard, the haters win. You get what I'm saying? The haters win. And also, if you don't accomplish your goals, then they weren't hating on you when they said you couldn't do it. They were just making an accurate assessment of your current capabilities, right? Were they right? or were they wrong? Right? The onus is on you, right? When that chick left you or cheated on you, she was, remember, everybody's doing anything someone does is they associate pain or pleasure with it, right? Perceive. So she thought that, hey man, it was a good decision to suck his dick instead of yours, because she thought that that'd be better for her future, right? Was she right or was she wrong? You know, and the beauty of this is, you know, every time I say this, man, some asshole says, "Oh, you should do it for love," or some fruity, or you shouldn't let hate fucking stop you, or you shouldn't be motivated by hate. Shut up, loser. I'm not one of these California white girls. All right, listen, this is the real life. And the beauty of the list of hate, though, is it makes you invincible, because every time somebody does something wrong to you, it actually helps you. It's actually fuel, right? So now you're transmuting this negative energy into something positive, because you're not going to fucking whip their ass or do anything to them. You're going to punish them with success, right? Massive success. Right? Because another thing you got to remember is like, oh man, if they hated on me, I'm gonna prove them wrong. How good you'll feel once they see you fucking shining on them, when they see you with the richer meals, and you know, when they see you with the fucking APs, when they see you out here flexing on them, right? They're gonna feel bad, and that should make you happy. That should make your heart smile, right? And you've taken something negative and you use it as fuel. You transmuted that negative energy, because remember, energy can never be destroyed. It can only be transmuted, right? Newton said that shit, or something to that effect. Whatever, man. Motherfucking Newton said that shit. All right. So you're taking that negative energy, right? And you're using it to accomplish your goal. There's nothing, man. That's beautiful. It makes you invincible. Now, when someone hates on me, I'm like, thank you. I needed that, man. I needed that, because I already crushed my other haters, right? They already drowning in a pool of their own sorrow, right? I'm already standing on the mountaintop of their crushed dreams. I'm already standing on top of a mountain made of their crushed dreams. I needed new haters. I needed new fuel. It makes it beautiful, right? Because nothing is good or bad. It's just how you use it, right? Like hate is like a knife, right? You can use a knife to go stabbing people, right? Stab up some people, right? Stab the club up. Or you can use the knife, hey, to cut up food that you're preparing for your family, right? The knife's not good or bad. It's just how you use it, who's wielding it, and what they're using it for. You're taking that hate and you're using that as something positive, right? You're going to help accomplish your goals. And then because you use that hate to accomplish your goals, now you can do more shit for your family. You use that hate to put your kids through college, man. Hate pays my son's tuition. Your hate feeds my son. But you don't want to be angry like all the time, right? You want to also have the list of great. So you want to make a list of the version of yourself. Imagine there's a version of yourself that already accomplished all your goals, right? What kind of habits does that person have? Write them down. How does that person behave? What attributes does he have? What's that person's diet like, right? Are they tracking their macros, or are they eating candy like a toddler? Are they fucking around eating candy bars like a toddler at work, right? You know. Stay focused. Right. And then like just all the habits what time does that person wake up? What time do they go to sleep, man? Do they spend their time working hard, or are they sitting around fucking jacking off playing video games? Right? What are they doing? All right. And what happens is every time you start to act in congruence with what's on your list of great, one, you're going to have more confidence in yourself, right? And then you'll start to enjoy it. And then what happens is, because of the list of hate and list of great, now you switch your associations with pain and pleasure, right? Now they change. Now all those vices, you start associating pain with the vices, right? Drugs, fucking random sex with hood rats, partying, fucking getting high. All this, you started associating pain with that. You start associating pain with not following your diet, with not working hard, because you know that the fucking haters win. Every time you don't work hard, the haters win. That's a fact. You prove the haters right every time you don't work hard, right? And then you start associating pleasure with hard work, with going after your goals like a motherfucking champion. You start associating pleasure with hard work and accomplishing your goals. Now, what happens is, I know that this was about discipline, but what happens is once you've done this, once you've associated once you've changed your associations and rewired your brain, once you've rewired your brain and changed your associations with pain and pleasure, then you won't need discipline. You won't even need discipline. It won't even feel like it, because discipline, listen, you don't need discipline to do shit you want to do. You need discipline to do shit you don't feel like doing. Am I right? You didn't need discipline to jerk off today. You wanted to do that. You would need discipline to stop, right? That's the same thing with this. Once you've rewired your brain, now you're going to need discipline if you want to stop working, right? You know what I'm saying? Now you want to, and this is another level. This is better than discipline. Actually, it's better than discipline because now you don't need it. Discipline is amateur hour in reality, right? Hope that makes some sense to you, motherfuckers, man. All right. The next habit that's holding you back is letting fear stop you, right? Letting fear stop you. So I remember when I first started, this online fitness shit, and I started YouTube and all this, and I wasn't in the best shape in my first videos, right? Like I kind of just looked like a guy, but I knew a lot about fitness. I've been training people. It was my love. I was kind of just a guy. And I remember I had a friend, I'm not gonna say his name, but he was working at one of the gyms that I was working at. He was in elite shape, like way better shape than me. And I was telling him, yo, I'm about to start doing this thing. I'm doing this, man. You should do this shit too, man. You in better shape than me, man. You gonna kill this shit. He knew more about working out. He knew more about training. He knew about science. He was better than me at everything. However, he was afraid to start. You get what I'm saying? Because and he had more disposable income, right? His dad didn't just fucking shoot himself in the head. Like, he had everything going for him, way better than me. But he was kind of afraid to start. He was like, edit a video, and he's like, I don't know if I'm gonna post, man. He was worried about what people think, right? And he let fear stop him, right? That motherfucker is still training people in the gym today, making the same amount of money, while I am a multi-millionaire, right? He just let fear stop him. And I think a lot of people had that problem, and what I like people to do is when they have fear, what you really want to do is, okay, so what you really want to do is change perspective, right? So what I like to do is I ask people, okay, what's the worst that can happen? Right? What's the worst that can happen? So let me do this. Let me do a framework for you. So you got to change perspective. Right. And when I say change perspective, I mean, like right now you're looking at the problem. You're looking at what you want to accomplish, but you're not doing it because you're scared. Oh, This guy's a bitch, right? And he has fear in front of him in his goal, right? There's a wall. It's like a wall of fear. That's a wall I'm drawing. Right? Bunch of bullshit. What we need to do is just change your perspective, how you look at it. Because the truth is, once you see things from different perspective, you know, maybe this is a mountain. Maybe the fear is not as big as you thought, right? This is me at the top of this mountain flexing on that nigga who was scared as fuck. That's me at the top of the mountain flexing on this nigga. You know what I'm saying? Because he was scared, right? We got to change your perspective. And once you change your perspective, once you look at it different, you realize when you're all close up on the fear, it looks very scary. But once you zoom out, you realize maybe it wasn't as big as you thought, right? And the way we do that is I ask three questions. What's the worst that can happen? I know my handwriting sucks. Whatever, suck my dick. All right. And all right. So first thing you ask is, what's the worst that can happen? Right. And I ask this like seriously, and I try to make it way worse than it really is. Right. Like, what's the worst that can happen? So if I was talking to this guy, I'd be like, all right, so what's the worst that can happen, man? Oh, people will laugh at you. People will make fun of you. All right. But I when I'm running someone through this, I make it worse. I'm like, okay, well, is there anything worse than that can happen? Like, will people fucking try to hurt you? Will they throw shit at you? Will they fuck with you? And I'm like, oh, no, they won't be that. Oh, so it's just going to be words or people laughing. Nothing really bad is going to happen. And we're like, nah, okay, well, how's that going to affect you? Right? So we go to how will that affect you? Oh, yeah. Nope. How would that affect you? This guy was Latino. All right. How would that affect you? Like, how would that affect you, man? You're going to like cry. You're going to be depressed. You're going to hate yourself. You're going to be suicidal. Like, no, I won't be that. I won't be that bad. Then we start to move the perspective out. You start to see it a little better. Right. Boom. And then ask, man, yo, can you? Then I say, okay, is that something you'll recover from, or will that crush you forever? Right. Is it tolerable? Like, could you deal with that, or is that some shit that you'll never recover from that? Oh, and then usually, I mean, typically, like when we do this, man, don't show my drawing. When you do edit, right? Typically, he'll be like, oh no, I mean, it won't be like that bad. I can deal with it if I need to. Can you? You sure? And he's like, yeah. Then what happens is, once you've zoomed out and you've really looked at it, it's usually like something you can handle, right? Right. Unless the answer to these questions are no, like, the worst that can happen is if it's too bad, then you don't do it. Like, that's legit. But typically things aren't too bad, right? You scared of motherfuckers talking about you, or you may lose some money or some shit, or, something stupid, it's usually not, as long as it's not life threatening and it's not something that you can't recover from. I think you should do it. Honestly, I think you should do it once you change your perspective. You feel me? And that's what I did. Sorry. And I still run myself through that same protocol because I be scared of shit sometimes, but I do it anyway because I'm not a bitch. I'm not a bitch. Like, it's okay to be scared, but it's not okay to be a bitch. You know what I'm saying? It's courage is not the absence of fear. It's acting in spite of fear. In fact, you need fear in order to be courageous, right? Because if there's no fear there, then you actually can't have courage. Because the definition of courage is doing something you're afraid of, right? So I kind of reframe it as, oh, this is scary. Oh, this is opportunity for me to be courageous, right? I consider myself a courageous person. I consider myself a motherfucking G. Here's a chance to prove that, if nothing else, to myself, right? And here's the thing. If you say you're courageous, if you say you're the man, right? And you bitch up in the face of fear, then you were just talking shit, right? It'd be like me saying I'm an astronaut, right? But I ain't never put on a spacesuit and left Earth's atmosphere, right? I can say I'm an astronaut all I want, but if I don't put on a spacesuit and leave Earth's atmosphere, it's bullshit, right? So if you don't face your fears, you can't say you're courageous. You can't say you're the man. You can't say you're a G, because it's bullshit if you let the fear consume you. You get what I'm saying? Right. The next thing holding you back, sabotaging your success, is not having enough fear. Not having enough fear. All right. So I'm gonna tell you a story. I have a family member, and I helped him start this business where he was selling gambling picks, and he got he was doing really well. He had at one point he went from like zero. I helped him go from like $0 to $1 million, with this business. And he was really good at sports gambling. Like, he was like one of the best I've seen, right, at it. And he had this one play. He was like, yo, I know this is going to work. I know this is going to work. He even told me, he's like, yo, I know it's going to work. I know it's going to work. I'm like, oh man, he sounded too confident. Like, he had the amount of confidence that scared me. We'll talk about that. Right? He had an amount of confidence that scared me. And he put like way too much money on it and lost it all. He was wrong, right? And that's because he didn't have enough fear. So when I say enough fear, it's like you want to take threats seriously, right? You don't want to fuck around. You don't want to be overconfident, because overconfidence is just as bad as fear, right? Being overconfident is just as bad, if not worse, than letting fear stop you. Because if fear stops you from doing something, you probably won't fuck your life up. You just be a bitch and you won't succeed, right? But being overconfident provides you with opportunities to ruin your life in interesting, creative ways, right? So what I do is, when I have a decision, I think about it in first, second, and third order consequences. I'm not going to write that shit. I'm done writing today. First order and third consequences. So first order consequences are, okay, what happens if this goes wrong, right? I'll write that. What if this goes wrong? I think about what to do if this goes wrong, right? Then I think, okay, what would that mean? For example, let's say I took that bet for him, right? What if he's wrong? Okay, what would that mean? Right? If he's wrong, that means I lose money. Well, what does that mean? Right? It depends. He put so much money on that it meant he was broke, right? I'll put what would that mean? So this is basically the consequence of the consequence. Second order consequences are the consequence of the consequence. Third order consequences are basically the consequence of this consequence, right? What would that mean? And then you can just ask again, what would that mean? So he was broke. Okay, first order consequences, he lost money. Second order consequence, he was broke. Third order consequences, he had to get a job. You get what I'm saying? And that's actually one of the 48 laws of power, is plan all the way to the end. So I usually go first, second, and third order consequences, right? So, and then I make the decision. It doesn't mean I don't do it. It's just I plan for it. I plan. And maybe it does mean I don't do it, right? Because sometimes this is like so bad that you don't do it. Or at least you got to have a backup plan. So what I'll do is most of the time I run through this whole thing and I say, okay, how do I prevent all of this to happen? Or what do I do if this happens, right? I have a contingency plan. So you definitely want to have a backup plan for all of this. And that's the key. I always have a backup plan. I always have contingency plans for everything. Literally, I wouldn't tie my fucking shoe without a backup plan, right? I remember I was doing an event. This was a few years ago. We were doing an event in Los Angeles, and I brought all our I brought our cameras, but I also had Brian bring some backup cameras. Right. And it cost us more money to ship all that. And he was like, man, you brought these backup cameras. We didn't even need it. And I was like, you fucking dummy. I'm sorry. Brian's my best friend. I was like, yeah, we didn't need it, but you always want to have a backup plan. You always want to have because what if we did need it? Right. And it's like that all the time. I always have some sort of plan in case, because I've ran through this, right? Oh, okay. But he's like, man, you didn't even need it, right? And then he had to run one of these same kind of plays later. He had in a similar situation. He's like, man, we didn't even need that backup shit that time Brandon. He did it without the fucking backup cameras. His main cameras died and he lost money and the whole shit was a huge failure because he didn't have the backup plan. That's what happens when I'm not in charge. Shit goes to fucking hell. All right. But I always have a backup plan for everything. And sometimes it seems excessive to a lot of people, right? But they just don't know how bad shit can get. You know what I'm saying? They don't know how bad shit is get. I got a fire extinguisher in the crib. I don't plan on burning my motherfucking kitchen down. I don't even cook. But I'm there. I'm ready. I'm ready for anything. You know what I'm saying? Once you go through the consequences, right? And you have a backup plan, now you can be confident. Right now you can be confident, right? But you have to have a healthy respect for the risk you're taking. You fairly assess the risk. You know what can happens if it goes wrong. You know what that'll mean and what that would mean, and you have a backup plan for each one of those situations. Now you can proceed with extreme confidence. And if something wrong, if the worst that can happen does happen, cool. Then you go to your backup plan. Now, to be clear, when I say backup plan, I don't mean it the way most people mean it. Most people mean it like on some bitch shit, right? They say, hey, they say, hey, oh man, if this business doesn't work, I'll just get a, let me think. Okay. Most people, when they say backup plan, they think they give up on the goal and do something else. I do not mean that. I say you have a legit backup plan to accomplish the same goal. For example, during World War II, I'm sure that they had a backup plan for if D-Day invasion did not work. It wasn't like, oh, maybe we can live with the Nazis. You know, hey, maybe Hitler's not so bad. You know, I doubt it was that. They had a backup plan to still win the war. Like, we don't change the goal, right? Most people have backup goals. That's how they think of backup plans, backup goals. No. The goal never changes, but we have a different route to that same goal. We have a backup plan to accomplish the same goal. We're not out here living with the Nazis. We still gonna kill Hitler. We're just gonna do it a different way. You feel me? That's what I mean with a backup plan. And once you have that, then you can proceed with extreme confidence, because you know, hey, I got a backup plan, maybe even a backup plan for my backup plan. You get what I'm saying? All right. Now, it doesn't mean that you don't have confidence in the main plan. It just means that you have a healthy respect for, shit going wrong, right? It means you're a logical person who's rational, right? Motherfuckers out here getting married without a prenup. It's like, yeah, of course you don't plan on getting divorced, right? But what's the first order consequence? Oh, you get divorced. All right. Second order consequences, she take you half your shit. Third order consequences, man. Even if she cheat, like Tom Brady, right? Bitch, fuck the karate teacher. He got to give her fucking half his shit, right? Even third order consequences, everybody laughing at you, right? Had he had a backup plan, he'd have been straight. He didn't have a healthy respect of about what could go wrong. You know what I'm saying? He didn't plan on his wife fucking the fucking karate teacher. He's Tom Brady, man. This motherfucker winning Super Bowls. He looked like a model and shit. He doing Uggs commercials. What could go wrong, right? You got to have a healthy respect for like what can go wrong. All right. The third thing, the next thing is I'm going to speed through some of these because this video is getting way too long. All right. Is not prioritizing your health. So I talked earlier about the mentor I had, Kevin Hodo, who ran Hormozi's ads, and he really taught me a lot about running Facebook ads. He helped me become like really good at it. He helped me make millions of dollars. And Hodo was, he was kind of overweight. He was a great dude. I loved him. Yeah, he was like a father figure to me, right? But he didn't really take care of his health, and he was overweight. He was probably the best Facebook ads manager maybe in the world at the time, definitely up there. And then C19 comes, right? C19 comes, my girlfriend, she's in great shape. She had that shit 3-4 times. She just in bed for a little while. She didn't even have to go to the hospital. Hodo died, right? Because he was overweight, man. He was overweight. He wasn't he focused on, he had all the quadrants except for the health, right? He had great friends and family. He had a great relationship with his wife, but he let this one slip. So even when I say you want to focus on one, you can't let the other ones fuck up to the point, right? Especially health, because if you lose your health, you lose everything, right? So it's super important. I'm not going to go on talk too much about health because I have tons of videos on diet and exercise, but no matter what, do not neglect your health, right? Not working out is only an hour a day. You don't even got to do it every day. Working out an hour a day, a few days, at least 4 days a week, that's fine. That's plenty. And control the amount of food you put in your mouth, right? Don't just put anything in your mouth like some whore and you'll be fine, right? Is that working hard is not an excuse to eat working hard on your business is not an excuse to just eat fucking crazy, right? It's not an excuse to not go to the gym, right? If you're a man, right? If you're a healthy man, you should be working out. You should be working out every day, or at least most days a week. And you shouldn't just eat fucking anything, like you should use fuel. You should use food as fuel, because the healthier you are, the better you feel your body, the harder you can work, the more money you can make. And the longer you live, the more the money can compound interest, right? So don't let your working hard is not an excuse to let your health go to shit, right? Because if your health is gone, you ain't got nothing, right? You literally die, right? What's the next one? The next thing holding you back is procrastination. I know a lot of you guys suffer from that because I get your messages saying, how do I beat procrastination? Well, I remember I was like 21 and I had some goals, some things I was trying to accomplish. And my dad was kind of helping me with it, even though he was going through some struggles, but he knew how to succeed. He was just fucking up. And he noticed that I wasn't getting shit done. And he's like, well, do you plan it in your calendar? I was like, nah. And he looked at me kind of like, like he was super disappointed. And he showed me his planner. He had one of them old school planners where he like planned out every day and planned out every month. And it was like one of them old school planners that he had, you know, he kept with him every time, all the time. And I started doing that, but I did it in Google Calendar, right? So if I show you and once I started doing that, then my success started to, things really didn't take off until I started planning every day in my calendar, right? It's really the number one secret to my success. The number one key to my success is actually just planning my life out in my calendar and planning my goals in it. So if I show you my calendar now, let me bring it up. Nima, you don't have to worry. I already took out the shit. Remember last time I told you to, yeah, I already did it. Like you can't really see it, right? So here's my calendar now, right? As you can see, man, almost every hour of every day is accounted for, right? There's only a few hours of white space each day. This is like 1 week, but I got my sleep. I got time I'm gonna wake up. I know what I'm gonna do. I know I got my workouts in here. I got basically everything in here. You know, I got time with my son, my niece, my nephew, my girl. The whole shit is strategic, right? And this is how I get so much more done than almost everyone else, because I plan my time. Right? And remember, especially if you're going to be working a lot, right? If you're going to be working fucking 80 hours a week, like me, right? To get the other shit done, so you don't let your health fucking plummet, so you don't fuck up your relationships, right? And you don't, and you don't neglect your family. You have to plan it and just put it in your calendar. So every hour of every day is actually accounted for the most part. There's a few, areas of white space, but typically these get filled up as we approach, right? And the beauty of this is once it's in my calendar, then it's like I know exactly what time I'm supposed to be doing stuff, right? So it's difficult to procrastinate when I know, oh shit, I'm like racing the clock each day. Like every day I wake up and it's kind of like, all right, I know I got to do all this shit, and it's okay. I'll move shit around if something happens, or, things almost never go according to the plan, but I'll just move something around. Like, for example, like if tomorrow, this is just the housekeepers here. My girl put that in just so I know that, they're going to be cleaning up the crib. But let's say I got, I'm supposed to do IG Live. I do IG Live and cardio at the same time on my exercise bike. And I'm on IG Live with y'all. But let's say something happens, boom, I can just move that here into the white space, right? Or I can move it back, right? And I'm moving shit around all day, but I'm working out the calendar. That's why now I have a plan. You guys are just trying to get around this shit or trying to find time. No, you got to make time. You got to schedule shit. And once you do that, I'm telling you, I have a video on this. Once you do this, your life will improve dramatically. You'll get way more done than almost anyone else. You will run circles around the competition, right? If you do this shit for 90 days, your whole life will change. I promise you. If you take nothing from this video, nothing from me, from Brandon Carter, Gymnasium Jesus, if you get one thing from me, it's this. This is the fucking cheat code to life, because all life is time. All life is time. You're born one day, you die one day. In between that is a bunch of time. And the quality of your life will depend on how you use that time. It stands to reason that you should plan that shit out, because it's all you really have is time. It's super important, right? And what happens is you won't have to worry about procrastinating, because now you're going to be on schedule. You're going to be on a motherfucking schedule. You know what I'm saying? That mixed with the list of hate and list of great, you rewired your brain. It's going to be difficult to procrastinate at that point, you know? This is longer than I thought it would be. Pause. All right. Next thing holding you back is not controlling your emotions. I had a good friend, you know, a really good friend. I knew him since I was a kid, from Chicago. His name was SV. And SV was in a situation. I can't talk too much about it, but I can just give you what's known, public record. He was in a situation. He was dealing with some people and he got really angry and he killed those people. You know, he just got too angry and killed those people. He's doing life in prison now. And he didn't have to. He just got so fucking mad and he couldn't control his emotions and he started murdering. And most of you guys won't do nothing that extreme. However, the inability to control your emotions will fuck your life up. And it'll fuck up your money. Warren Buffett said, if you can't control your emotions, then you can't control money. Here's a picture of old Warren G saying that shit, man. If you can't control your emotions, you can't control money, right? Because here's the thing. The decisions people make are based off the emotions they feel at the time they make the decision, right? If you're calm, cool, collected, right? You're probably making better decisions than when you're fucking angry or super too happy. I've seen people get too happy, too excited, and make bad decisions, right? Some of y'all been too horny and had sex with people that you wouldn't have had sex with if you were of sound mind. That's how some of y'all was conceived. Your dad was too horny, and then a 5 was in the right place at the right time. 9 months later, you came. This shit happens, right? Warren Buffett also said the key to success is emotional stability, right? Now, Warren Buffett's one of the richest motherfuckers of all time, man. He's, you know, it stands to reason he knows something about success, right? So how do you control your emotions? The main thing that's helped me control my emotions over the years. Now, here's the thing. Remember, something you guys might not know this about me, but I have bipolar 2. I've been diagnosed with bipolar 2. So, you know, it can be difficult for me to control my emotions at times. But I don't have to take medication. I don't have to take medication for it. The doctor says I don't have to, because the doctor says I handle it very well. And the main thing that's helped me handle my emotions better is meditation, right? Because my meditation, so basically I meditate twice a day, 15 to 20 minutes each session, right? And what that does is, it's difficult for me to explain, but over years of doing it, what it does is it's allowed me to respond instead of react to situations. So there's studies that show that meditation actually changes your brain, right? So like let's say this is your fucking brain. And there's science behind this, right? Let's say this is your brain. Right? And here you got this part of your brain called the amygdala. This is like your fear center, fight or flight. This is where you have a lot of reactionary emotions, right? Here you have your neocortex, right? This is where you think logically, right? Humans have a bigger neocortex than the majority of the animal kingdom. humans have a huge neocortex. This is what allows us to, do shit other animals don't do, like fucking make YouTube videos, create languages, invent math, and get into rap battles. Other animals can't do this shit, right? Because they don't have, they just can't think logically. They don't have a big enough neocortex, right? So what meditation does, and this is proven, there was a Harvard study that showed that just 8 weeks, I think it was 8 weeks of meditation, right? What it did was it shrunk the amygdala and actually grew the neocortex, right? What does that mean? That means that people were able to be less reactionary and be more logical. This is what separates us from the fucking human. This is what separates us from the beast, from the creatures in the wilderness, right? You'll be better at that. And meditation has helped me do that, because there's a lot of situations, especially as you become more successful, you're gonna have more responsibility, more stress, right? And if you don't know how to handle it, right? If you can't manage those emotions, you're gonna really fuck up, right? And the problem is if you fuck around and become successful without learning how to control your emotions, then you can actually fuck your life up in ways that you can't fuck your life up now, right? Because if you're successful, you'll have fucking leverage, right? You'll have fame and money and millions of dollars, right? For example, P. Diddy, right? If he just beat his girlfriend's ass and he wasn't a famous billionaire, no one would know about it, right? His kids wouldn't be embarrassed going to school and shit because his dad's out here beating bitches in the hallway. You know what I'm saying? People are going to get fired because of that, right? He had to, nobody's fucking gonna watch Revolt. Nobody's buying Ciroc now. Like he's fucking up other people's lives, not just the people whose lives he beat. If he was just a guy beating the shit out of his girlfriend, it wouldn't even be news. You know what I'm saying? But now his kids got to fucking deal with that shit forever. You know what I'm saying? It's embarrassing. It's, I don't know about y'all. I don't drink alcohol, but y'all drinking Ciroc now? Yeah. I can't even listen to some of my favorite songs anymore because he beat this girl's ass. He wasn't thinking about me. I used to listen to Victory every morning. I can't even listen to that shit now without getting canceled. I got to turn it down. The sun don't shine forever. But anyway, he wasn't thinking about me when he was beating her ass. All right. You got to learn how to control your emotions. I have videos on meditation. We're going to put links to all these videos in this thing, in the description, but I have links on I have videos on meditation to show you how to do that more. It's the number one thing you can do to learn how to control your emotions. And you definitely need to do that. The more stress you can handle, the more money you can make. All right. All right. The next thing holding you back from success is not having a mentor, right? So when I first was starting to build my online fitness business, I was trying to figure it out on my own. In fact, I was one of the first people to do online training. Like I was one of the pioneers. And I started around the same time as this dude named Elliot Holst, but he started to become successful way before me, right? And Elliot was like a big brother to me, right? And he showed me, I remember just one day, one conversation I had when we were smoking cigars, and he gave me a piece of advice. I immediately used that piece of advice and made $10,000 the next week. And $10,000 was a lot of money to me at the time. And then, I kept getting mentorship from Elliot. And then I found one of his business partners named Matt Gallant, and I paid Matt Gallant. It was like $1,400 a month to just do a Zoom call with me once a month. But he was like Matt became like a mentor to me. Matt's business, bio optimizers. Fun fact, they did $50 million last year. Matt's a G. And anyway, but because of that, I started to make money way faster, and I avoided a lot of the pitfalls that Elliot ran into, right? Because I had a mentor, right? And I want you to think about it. Michael Jordan was one of the best basketball players of all time, probably the best if you ask me. And when he first came into the league, he kept getting beat every year in the playoffs by the Detroit Pistons, right? Isaiah Thomas, they were the bad boys Pistons. Shout out to Isaiah. He from Southside Chicago too. What up? And he kept beating the shit out of Jordan and his boys, and because they played a real physical brand of basketball, right? So Jordan went and hired, he said he needed to get stronger, but he didn't know how to do it, right? He could have tried to figure it out on his own. He's a fucking pro athlete, right? But he went and hired a dude named Tim Grover, right? Tim Grover trained him, right? And then he finally was able to beat the Detroit Pistons. You know the rest of the story. Six championships, greatest basketball player of all time. Kobe Bryant, he got beat bad in the playoffs one year. And then Michael Jordan was Kobe's mentor. And he asked Jordan, hey, what should I do, man? I keep getting my ass. I got my ass whipped in the playoffs. He said, go see Tim. He hired Tim Grover. Then you know that story, man. Fucking Kobe went on to be one of the best basketball players of all time. These are two of the greatest athletes ever. They couldn't do it without a mentor. Like, what makes us think that we can? Why do we try to accomplish our goals on our own? Right? That would be like a Navy SEAL. Imagine someone in Navy SEALs, they say, oh man, I'm sorry. When we try to do is we try to do it with fucking YouTube videos only, right? It's the good resources. Even books are good resources, but it's not a substitute. Imagine somebody wanting to be a Navy SEAL, and instead of going to the BUD/S training where they work with other SEALs, right, who have already done what they're trying to do, instead of doing that, they just say, hey man, go watch some YouTube videos, listen to some podcasts, read some books, and we'll meet you at the war. Right? Imagine how stupid that would be. Of course they don't do that. They go train with other SEALs who act as mentors and teach them how to do this shit. Right? We need to do that too. So you got to do whatever you can do to get a mentor in your life that could help you accomplish your goals. I promise you'll accomplish them way faster than you would if you tried to do it on your own. Having a mentor is like having a GPS. It's legitimately like having a GPS. Imagine I remember what it's like to drive without a GPS because I'm old. Right? I've been driving since the 90s. Right? We had to print out maps and shit. Motherfuckers will buy maps on the road. Guaranteed, we getting lost every time. Me and my brother drove my car to DC when I went to from Chicago to DC. No GPS, didn't exist yet. We got lost like a motherfucker. That shit took way longer than it needed to. Right? However, once the GPS came out, motherfuckers never get lost. What happens when you go off track with a GPS? It puts you right back on track. That's what having a mentor is like. It gives you the path, and if you go off track, the mentor will reroute you. That's what you do. You hit your goal faster. You need that. That is preventing you from hitting your goals. Right? And it helps you avoid the pitfalls. Like they got these new GPS, I think it's called Waves or something. Waze. They tell you where the most traffic is and shit. Oh, no, go around that traffic. Go around that accident. Nah, there's some motherfucking cops over here, man. 5-0's over there. Yo, 12 is over there. You want to go the other way. You feel me? Like that's what a mentor is like. Right? I promise you, if you can get that for whatever goal you're trying to accomplish, you will accomplish your goal way faster. I know because I've been a personal trainer for my whole life, and these motherfuckers been trying to lose weight forever until they come to me. I get these motherfuckers in shape in 90 days or less, But before that, they've been fucking being fat for fucking decades. And the last thing stopping you from accomplishing your goals is not continually learning, right? So even if you got a mentor, you still need to study. You still need to be reading. You still need to be super focused at acquiring knowledge, because acquiring knowledge will help with the acquisition of fucking money or success in any endeavor, right? You know, every once in a while I hear some fucking YouTuber or some influencer saying that they don't read books. And okay, never take that part out. I don't want to say what I was going to say. Right. But acquiring knowledge, constantly learning, will help you accomplish your goals faster, and it'll help you see things that you might have missed. I'll give you an example. I remember when I first started, when I was really trying to grow on social media, I had this, I was growing YouTube and I was growing Facebook. Those were the only social medias out at the time. Instagram and shit didn't exist. But I was always studying the trends and keeping up with technology and what was working and what's not. And I remember I came across this blog I used to read all the time. It's called TechCrunch. I still fuck with them sometimes. And TechCrunch, they had an article talking about how Facebook was going to try to compete with YouTube with the video, right? And that they predicted that YouTube would be increasing the reach. I'm sorry, they predicted that Facebook would be increasing the reach of videos posted directly to the platform. And they were going to prioritize videos over images, right? When they had rolled out the video shit. This was like 15 or whatever. I don't know. Long time ago. And I saw that and I was like, oh, fuck, I'm a struggling YouTuber. I'll just upload all these same videos to Facebook. And I went super hard with that. And within a few months, I had got over 1 million Facebook followers. And Facebook followers to my fan page. And that's when having 1 million Facebook followers was a big deal. It's not as big a deal now, right? But I still only had like 100,000 Instagram followers. Yeah, it's like whenever I got this plat, before I got the big one. Anyway, and my business started to take off because I started to get so many clients and I started to make so much money off that. But had I not been studying all the time, I'd have missed that article and I'd have missed that wave. That wave is over. Don't try to do it now. Don't try to do it now, but that wave is over. But I would have missed it had I not been studying. So I'm always keeping up. I'm always reading. If I go to the airport, if I go to the plane station, I get every tech magazine and I read all the articles. I'm always reading books. In fact, you should keep reading. In fact, I have a list of the top 50 books that you should read to accomplish your goals. Click the link. Go. I'm gonna post that around here. Go watch that video now. Right. That's how we gonna end it. All right. Let's run through these super chats real quickly, because I gotta go to sleep.
We have Geek Monster saying that he appreciates you.
Hey man, I appreciate you too, Geek Monster Gaming.
We have Jeremy. How do you get over that feeling of being anxious when you're getting ready to drop price on an interested prospect?
Oh man, it's kind of like the first time you had sex, right? And you whipped out your shit, It's probably nervous, man, to go do it, man. But hey, once you did it, you now you're excited to do it, right? It's the same thing, right? Just exposure repeated exposure will get rid of the anxiousness. There's no hack to get rid of anxiousness, right? You just repeated exposure. Yeah.
Kewan, been told I'm bipolar. How can I manage it?
Well, first get tested, right? Because most people misconstrue what bipolar is. So people think that bipolar is you're crazy 1 minute, then you're sad the next minute. It doesn't like that. It's not like minute to minute. It's fucking days, weeks, or months of oscillating between depression or what's called mania. And mania is, I've never done cocaine, but I know I've seen people on cocaine. And I imagine that mania feels like being on cocaine, right? You don't really sleep much. You don't need to sleep. And you have tons of energy. And you think that everything, every idea you have is the greatest idea in the world. It's actually super dangerous because you can be overconfident. Mania is super dangerous. You don't really know you're in it until it's over. And you look back at the fucking pile of fucking disaster you made, right? Depression, you know you're in, and it can last for days, weeks, or months, right? So if they say you're bipolar because you're switching from moment to moment, nah, you just erratic, right? That's not bipolar. Bipolar, it's like it's I don't know. You should get tested to see if that's real. How I manage it, the main way I manage it is meditation, honestly.
We have Angelo. I watched the market recap with Romulus, but I'm a beginner. Where do you suggest I start to learn more about
the Discord? Join the Discord. Like, there's going to be we got a lot of free resources in there. All right. And am I muted? Oh, we got free resources in there. And Greg and Romulus, they're in there every week, every Wednesday at 4:15, where they get free advice. And me and Young Candlestick, man, we're gonna be working on some new free shit for y'all in there too.
We have Geek Monster. I've been told that too. I don't think it's real, but I do know we can cause stuff like that because I stopped showing all symptoms after I stopped smoking it.
Yo, so like recreational drugs can trigger either depression or mania. Shit can get crazy. Shit can get crazy. It can trigger. There's a few different triggers especially for mania. And mania is more dangerous than the depression shit because then you can really fuck your life up in some creative ways. What's up? Oh, we got another one.
Geek Monster said, "You good for the community, Brandon? Crazy. We can ask a millionaire questions for $2."
It is crazy. You know what I'm saying? But shout out to you, Geek Monster Gaming.
We have Bobor with $1.
You know what it is, man. Shout out to you, Bobor.
O James, should I clean shave?
I want you guys to do whatever you want. The only thing I'll say you is just go Google the richest people in the world. 95% of them are clean shaven. I mean, I'm not saying it means anything, right? But I know a lot of people they'll say, man, being clean shaven makes you look masculine, looks like a man. And I do believe that there's some truth to that. I don't know. I got sent to military school, and the guys who ran the military school were special forces, fucking Green Berets, Navy SEALs, fucking Marines. They were like, honestly, some of the toughest people I ever met, and they were all clean shaven because military thing. So I think growing up in that environment, I think that had an impact on me wanting to be clean shaven. Plus, yeah, that had an impact on me wanting to be clean shaven. Plus, the people I grew up, idolizing in the 90s, Jordan, James Bond, Batman, Lex Luthor. They were all clean shaven, all my heroes, The Rock. So I've never been compelled to grow a beard, but if you guys want to do that, go for it, man. What else we got?
We have MH4. How to handle friends who have mix of good and bad influences. They're real ones and push me to get buff. I'm still fit, but they vape, drink a lot.
Listen, man, don't fall for peer pressure, right? I have tons of friends who drink, but I haven't drank in years. Like, we're close to 10 years that I haven't had a drink or done any recreational drugs. My girlfriend drinks. You know what I'm saying? I be encouraging her to drink, what I'm talking about, but when you say you don't do it, that's the thing. You got to say you don't do it. Because if you say you're trying to quit or you don't want to do it tonight, then here's leeway. But if you don't do something, they usually respect it. I'm telling you, abstinence is easier than moderation. Abstinence is always easier than moderation. Because when you cut off the possibility, then that's all it is. Tristan Tate was making fun of him. He did a whole comedy skit in front of everybody talking about how when we were in Atlanta together, talking shit about me because I wouldn't drink, calling me a pussy every name. Everybody's laughing. And I still didn't drink. It's all good, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, there's a video about that, I think.
We have Geek Monster Bag. Dan, that's crazy. After seeing all your success, he just stayed a trainer. Didn't even get on you high ticket trainer program.
Nah, he too scared, man. He's scared of everything. He old now, man. He was older than me then, man. So he's 50 now. He probably got grandkids.
We have the HVAC podcast. Sup, BBC. My time blocking has been on point, but I get really sleepy at 2 p.m. and I often want to take naps. Any tips on keeping up energy?
I take a heroic dosage of caffeine per day. You know what I'm saying? Like I'll just drink some pre-workout or a Celsius. I take a heroic dose of caffeine. I'm gonna be honest with you. Or I will take a nap though. Like I got really good at taking naps. There's something called a caffeine nap. Like Google it, where you take like, I think it's, I don't know, it's Celsius tolerance, but you take a bunch of caffeine. This is only if you can go to sleep fast. Like I can fall asleep fast. All right. And then you take a 30-minute nap. The reason it works is because caffeine takes about 30 minutes to go through your bloodstream. Right. So if you can go to sleep fast, right, and time it. So I time it 30 minutes, boom, wake up. And now the caffeine is surging through my brain, through my bloodstream. And then I'm not as groggy when I wake up. Google it, caffeine nap. I'll do that shit at any moment. If I feel like I've been going too hard, pause. Yeah.
We have X Sharp. What's up, King Keto? Been watching you for a few months and I can confirm my money, muscle, and mindset have improved tremendously. Yo. Working 3 jobs while trading with the Legion, saving up 4 Toms.
Yo, come on, man. Let's go. Shout out to you, big dog. I love, man, I get a lot of people saying, man, I started getting like more jobs because you. I'm like, yeah, that's what's up, man. Let's work. Let's work. You know, work got demonized for some reason, man. You know, there was a time when people respected hardworking brothers. Hey, I still respect you. The Victinator still respect you. What else we got?
And then we have Travon. BBC, how do you focus on becoming extraordinary at one thing when it feels like you have to balance everything in order to get anywhere? Yeah, no,
it'd be like that. You know, it'd be like that. I'm telling you, the calendar. It's the calendar, man. The calendar is your key. It is the secret. I'm telling you, it is the key to your success. It will unlock everything for you. All right. Listen, I have videos on it too. I have videos on it. I think it's Baller Time Management is the name of the video. I think it went up like last week of the week. Go check that out. It is the fucking cheat code. Most important thing you ever learned from me is using the calendar. All right. Hey, this has been another episode of that Victory Talk podcast. All right. Next week. Thursday. This Thursday, we're going to have Chris from Fresh and Fit, the producer. He's going to be the guest. I'm sure he's got a lot of funny, interesting stories. You know what I'm saying? He's going to need a bottle of this to take back with him. He might kill everybody with this shit. All right. All right. But see, we do this every Tuesday and Thursday at 7 Eastern Standard Time. All right. Peace.